Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I'm driving a 2018 Nissan Sentra. Up front is a 1.8 liter inline 4 and down below is a CVT.
This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US.
So, let's get back to that 1.8 liter inline 4. Well, decently small displacement, doesn't have that much power. Speed, agility, handling, these are not words that I would associate with the 2018 Sentra. What I would associate with the Sentra is economical, cheap, and efficient. And that is what the engine is good for. It's good at getting great gas mileage, it's good at being efficient, and it's good at being simple and easy to work on. But, like I said, paired to it is a CVT, which stands for continuously variable transmission. So what this means is that there's no actual gear set inside the transmission. There's no set gears with set ratios. It's continuously variable. It changes and it shifts. So when you feel the car shift, you know, like a traditional car, it's just doing that for your benefit. It doesn't actually have to do that. It could just stay in the power band and change the ratios within the transmission to keep you in the power band. Now, I know a lot of that was a lot of big words and a lot of automotive mumbo jumbo. Basically what it means, it's an automatic transmission, it's fine, it's whatever, it's pretty bland. Last but not least, the Sentra is front wheel drive. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me I have two physical gauges. On the left is my tachometer, on the right is my speedometer with the fuel gauge in it, and then the tachometer has the water temperature gauge in it as well. Then I do have a center screen. I like the fact that when you turn on the car, the center screen, the Sentra does like a little almost donut, it sort of flips around. I like that. But it's telling me my time, outside temperature, what gear I'm in, miles till empty, and my odometer. Nothing really too crazy there. One nice thing about the Sentra though, speaking of the gauge cluster and stuff, is that it does have brake warning. So if it thinks that you're going to hit something, it is going to alert you. Maybe if you were dozing off, not paying attention, whatever, it will alert you. It won't actually apply the brakes, but it's nice that it has the safety feature that at least it warns you. It gives you sort of a heads up, so maybe you could brake a little bit sooner than you thought. On the steering wheel, I do have my cruise control settings on the right, as well as my telephone options, and on the left, I do have my options for the center screen, as well as volume. To the left of me, I just have my power mirror options, my gauge cluster dimmer switches, and then down below that, I actually have Eco, Sport, and traction control off. So they're all pretty self-explanatory. Eco is going to push you to get better gas mileage. Sport is going to basically switch up the gear changes, keep you in the power band a little bit longer, a little bit better acceleration. And then, of course, traction control on and off will turn your traction control on and off. On the door, I just have my window switches and my lock and unlock, which only the driver's window is one touch down and one touch back up, but everyone else in the car does not get that. In the center, I have two air vents and then the radio. The radio isn't actually as bad as I expected this thing to be. This is a base model Sentra. You have to keep that in mind. I really expected this thing to be an absolute dog, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'll get to that after we talk about the looks later on. I like the infotainment screen. It's nice and basic, but it does have an iPod input, which it's interesting that it says iPod. That being said, has aux inputs. It's a good enough modern radio. It's a good enough base modern radio. You have to remember that some cars 10, 20 years ago, the base models sometimes didn't even come with radios. So in the short time since then, this is a huge improvement over base radios. Then I have my climate controls. Really simple here. I like them a lot. It's no fluff. You hit what you want, you hit what you don't want. They're not very aesthetically pleasing. It's not like cool looking climate controls. I don't feel like I'm operating a fighter jet with these climate controls, but they work, and that's really all that matters. Then I have a 12-volt charger and the shifter. The shifter's fine. You're not going to be touching it all that much because it is an automatic. It's really nothing crazy. Then I have two cup holders, a little cubby hole, and then the center console. Now, the seats actually, surprisingly, are not horrible. Like I said, they are the base seats, and I expected them to be like a church pew, just stiff and uncomfortable. But that's actually not the case. They're not the most comfortable things in the world by any means, but they do actually have a little bit of side bolster that I actually sort of like. And honestly, my driving position just in total, I really like it. I'm sitting up high enough. The steering wheel is a good length away. The pedals are a good length away. That being said, this is not a power seat. But speaking of seats, let's do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2018 Nissan Sentra, and I praise the front seats for not being as hard as I thought. Nissan forgot about these. I think they legit had a bunch of Amazon Prime boxes sitting around, and they just built a back seat for this. This is incredibly hard, very uncomfortable, kind of even hurts my back just sitting like this. No center console, but I will say, I will praise the Sentra. Great knee room, great leg room. This is my driving position, and I have a bunch of leg room. This is really, really surprising. I do also have speakers in the door. They're not great, but I do have speakers in the door. At least, can carry some of the sound back here, as well as 2 speakers behind my head. So honestly, if you're all jamming out with your friends, like, music's not going to be an issue back here. But that being said, amazing legroom. I would say some of the best in its class for sure for rear passengers. It's just that then the rear passengers have to suffer broken backs because of their Amazon Prime box, cardboard, church pew, stone wall back seats. Now I have to get to the looks. This is a base model Sentra. This is not going to win a single award for the looks of the car. It's not impressive. It's not cool. It's not interesting. But that being said, it's not a bad looking car. It's not ugly by any means. If I were to see one in traffic, I wouldn't go, ah! They just sort of blend in, especially with the silver color. This car is all but a ghost. I mean, really, this will blend into any traffic jam. You will lose it, and that is that. Now, these are hubcaps. They are not alloy wheels, of course, like I said, base model. And so let's talk about that. This is the base model. I want to use this time to talk about economy cars. I get a lot of scrutiny here on the channel whenever I review an economy car because I think that they're boring and I think that they're lame and they don't excite me, blah, blah, blah. And the truth of the matter is this Sentra doesn't excite me. It's boring. It's a boring car. But it is fuel efficient. I still like economy cars because they are efficient. They are sold to the masses. You could get one of these for very, very cheap. I still appreciate them. I don't look forward to driving them. I don't aspire to own one, but I appreciate them. They fill a very large gap in today's society. We need cheap cars. We need efficient cars. And this car is very, very efficient. If you are looking to buy your first car and you are looking at Nissan Sentras, this is not a bad place to start looking. This car will get you from point A to point B. And so whenever I review an economy car, you have to remember that I don't ever hate cars. It's very rare that I hate a car. It's just that these cars don't quite excite me. These aren't exhilarating, blood-pumping cars. These are just run-around A to B cars. And that being said, I honestly think that the Sentra might be one of the best. For how cheap you can get these things, I'm actually not complaining. It really doesn't feel like I'm in a very, very cheap car. I mean, obviously, the more I look around, the more it becomes apparent, but the just overall driving experience isn't anything bad. So look, would I spend my money on a 2018 Nissan Sentra? No, I would not. I would not buy one of these personally. But if you're looking for your first car, a car to take to college, a car, maybe you just started your first job, you want to reward yourself with something new, maybe you can finally make the payments for something like this. Maybe your 1986 Toyota Corolla is about to crap out and you need something new to take its place. This is a great option. It really, really is. I don't hate this as much as I really thought I was going to. It's boring, it's mundane, but we need cars like that. This is the bread of cars. On its own, alone, bread is not good. But if you sprinkle on, some condiments, some meat, or for a car, some memories, some nostalgia, some pride of owning a vehicle, of having something that is your own. If you buy one of these, this is your car. No one else has this Sentra. It is mine. If you sprinkle on all that, then it becomes something special. This car is not special out of the box, like, say, a ZR1 Corvette, like, say, a Dodge Viper, like, say, an Acura NSX. It's up to you. You have to place the importance of this car for yourself. Society won't. No kid is going to grow up with a Nissan Sentra on a poster in their room, but you could still be proud of it because you own it. It's yours. And that's how I feel about economy cars. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2018 Nissan Sentra. Huge thank you to Max for letting me take out his rental car. Yes, this actually is a rental car, but it is a rental car while his Corvette is in the shop. So I had to take it out, see what it is for myself. But thank you, Max, for letting me do this review. I'm actually not as mad as I thought I was going to be. I thought this was going to be a very bland, horrible day. And honestly, I don't have too much to nitpick about this thing. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you would like to. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight.